Hey everyone, it's Peek. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video. Today I'm actually going to be talking about camera usage in the game and sort of how you can manipulate it, how to best use it, because I've noticed watching a lot of people play the game that it just seems that a lot of people are having a difficult time with this, just knowing how to kind of pan the camera so you're able to see objectives so you don't miss your moves. So first things first, before we even start off, I want to introduce you to this setting. If you haven't seen my settings video already, which covers just like all the recommended settings that I would enable if I'm playing this game for the first time, and these are still the settings I use to this day, you will probably have seen this setting, which is camera follows moves. So what happens when you turn this on is actually, I can just show you. So we're going to turn it on, just FYI. So for example, if you upgrade, let's just level up Venusaur to 15. So we're going to take, Sludge Bomb and Solar Beam, right? And I'm just going to turn the move cooldowns off. So when you're using Solar Beam, normally, like if you have this setting off, it would just keep your camera still. But if you have this setting on, you see how my camera kind of moves around with the move. So this setting is really beneficial for times where you can't actually manually control the camera and you kind of need to see the edge of where your moves will go, right? So Solar Beam, a very long range move, is the perfect example of, you know, how you would need to kind of enable this setting. You can see if we actually go and turn it off really quickly, turn it off, you'll see now when I'm using Solar Beam, I'm just like, my camera stays still. I can't really see, and I would have to actually first move the camera and then kind of aim my Solar Beam first before I'm doing that, right? So I definitely recommend turning this setting on. I always have this setting on. I think it's really useful. It can get a little jumpy with certain moves, but I think you'll get used to it probably. But there is something really important that I want to show you guys, and it'll probably take a little bit of explaining before I'm able to kind of solidly show you this. But I've noticed this in a lot of people's gameplay, that like if you're playing Venusaur, right, a lot of people, you know, who don't have the setting on or just need sort of more vision, they don't know that you can actually, what you can do on this character and every character is you can actually pan the camera and then use a move and then you can aim that move. So like, and you can actually move while you're doing this. So you see, like, my character is actually moving. It requires holding a lot of buttons on the controller, but of course if we time it right, we can actually last hit this Dreadnought. A little bit difficult to explain like exactly what I'm doing, so let's just walk you through this again. Whatever button you have the camera movement to, I personally have it to L. By default, I believe it is ZL, but I have it on L. So of course, I'll just be giving the general names of the camera buttons in this video. So you hold your camera button and move it around with the right control stick. Obviously, you move the camera wherever you want. Let's say here, we're trying to reach this Audino. If I move over here, you'll kind of see I'm like barely just out of range of this Audino. So I'm still holding the camera button, right? You have to hold this down the whole time when you're doing this. But I can also hit the Solar Beam button, which of course allows me to aim Solar Beam. So now I can actually see the exact health of this Audino. Let's say someone is attacking it, then I can be sure that, I mean, they're probably not going to be able to see me, but I can definitely see this Audino and I can see what health it's at. And when I'm ready, of course, I just release that Solar Beam and boom, you see I actually did do damage to it because we were aiming at it, obviously. So a lot of people don't know you can do this. I just see a lot of people with, number one, this setting off, and they're like, you know, sitting over here trying to secure the last hit on the Rotom with their Solar Beam, and they're like, I can't really see the health bar. Like, you can see Rotom's there, right? You can see it in my top right of my screen, but you can't actually see all the health bar. So even if you don't have this setting enabled, of course, like, just pan your camera a little bit, hold the camera button the whole time, and now you can see the health bar, right? Hopefully this makes sense. I think it's actually super duper simple. There's quite a few characters where this is really useful on, and I will actually show you those now. But hopefully the whole button combination makes sense. This does take a lot of practice, and you're not going to get it right away. And of course, you can always hit B to cancel your move. Same thing applies to Solar Beam. Like, of course, we're just barely out of range in this, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get this. I just hit B, cancel the move, okay? So that's kind of how it does. The basic movement, and again, I'll show this on different characters, is hold your camera, pan your camera to wherever you want, then while still holding the camera button, use your move button, And then, of course, when you need to release it, obviously release both, and you will do the damage in whatever area you're aiming. Okay, so again, we have this setting turned on, the camera follows move setting, and this is just going to allow us to get a little more extra vision. But of course, you will sometimes really need to use the camera while you're doing this. So we're on Cinderace now, has one of the longest range moves in the game with its Unite move. Very crazy range on this move, and it can do a great job at actually last hitting like a Zapdos or a Dreadnought. So I kind of want to show you basically how you can utilize the same technique I showed on Venusaur in just making sure that you're able to see the health bar of enemies. You can see here kind of like the camera naturally pans out for this. But sometimes, especially when you're using Cinderace's Unite move, because it does have AoE damage, you're really gonna be like looking at the Zapdos pit a lot, of course, in this situation. And this is kind of one of the best spots to be, in this top bush here, or of course the bottom bush as well. This will just allow you to have vision of what's happening in the Zapdos pit, and also maybe be able to steal that last hit, of course. So really, like, you can hold the camera button, of course, that's what we're always doing first when we're using the camera. And, you know, you can see here exactly what HP Zapdos is at. You can kind of see, you can even like, if you cancel the move, you can still move your camera around as you're still holding the camera button. So, you know, you can be like, not sure I want to use it. Cancel the Unite move with B, but you can still kind of move the camera around. And that just, you know, is kind of a great way to use this ability and use your vision to your advantage, because you should be able to see the enemies from here. You should be able to see around what health they're at. And of course, you're going to be able to see the Zapdos health bar. So again, quickly, I just want to show you this kind of in practice. Of course, the enemy Charizard is now on the Zapdos, and I'm up here in the bush. And, you know, I'm panning my camera. I can't quite see the enemy Charizard, but I do know that my Unite move is in range because I see the red little icon there showing. And, of course, the enemy Charizard dies, but ideally, you know, I'd last hit it there with my Unite move if the enemy Charizard wouldn't have just died. But, of course, he is just a robot, so we can't expect that much of him. So, yeah, that's basically kind of how this works in the Zapdos pit as well, just for your information. So hopefully this helps. I'm going to show you the same kind of thing with Rotom. You can be sitting over here in your goal. If the enemy team is, you know, taking it, normally you are not really going to be able to see that well of Rotom, right? You can't really see this health bar. However, if you kind of pan your camera there, boom, now you can see it, right? You can see it while using your Unite move, and of course, be able to get that last hit on it. If you time it correctly, of course. Very quick video. Hopefully this helps you out. And if you want kind of more showcases on how to do this, let me know. But I think hopefully it's pretty straightforward by now. Again, like the basic combination is just, you know, hide in your bush, hide on your goal, wherever you want to hide, pan the camera so you can see the full health bar of the enemy you're aiming at, or the group of enemies, group of like the enemy team they're aiming at, and just release everything at the same time. And boom, you're going to be able to hit it. And hopefully this helps you kind of secure more objectives, more Zapdos, more Dreadnought, as you're kind of using this technique. I think really camera usage is super important in this game. There is a lot of information available at all times on the map, especially since you can, even when you're down here at the bottom of the map, you can see the health bar of Rotom, and you can see the health bar of Dreadnought, you can see the health bar of Zapdos. And of course, you'll constantly be wanting to use your camera to check the health of the different enemy team's goals and just get all the information you can. The camera is really, really useful for that. So of course, one last setting I do want to say is that you should just make your camera sensitivity as high as possible. I find, you know, it's very, very slow if you have this all the way on low. You'll see like my camera moves so slow. I'm barely able to, you know, move around. So I think a lot of people don't use the camera that much because they don't have the sensitivity up to max, because it really, really helps. Here, let's just, again, like, you can see how much faster I pan the camera now with that. So I highly recommend that you enable your camera sensitivity to max. That will really help. And of course, you know, we can just come in here, hopefully last hit this Dreadnought, mess up the enemy Charizard, and you know, that's I think this will help you a lot in your games for sure. Let me know if it does. Let me know if this was interesting to you and if it helped you out. That's gonna do it for today's video. Subscribe if you guys are new. Would love to have you here in this community. Join the Discord. Lots of lovely people there. Always finding games to play together, of course, in Pokemon Unite and stuff like that. And follow me on Twitter. That's the best place to get updates on the game, updates on me, and when I go live on Twitch. So with all that out of the way, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.